go down because every seat is counted for. Yeah. And scoot down, yeah. There you go. So I'm going to need you guys to do that. Just think about that, okay? Oh, here. You guys can go.
Can I?
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yep, sorry. Just wait till they sit down. I'm not sure. Just wait till they sit down and then the rest of it. So 2 here, so we can fit 3 more. You guys are all good. Yep. I added this extra chair. This is an extra one. You should. Yep. Yep. What? Just so you don't do anything we say will probably be taken on the live stream. So just.
Oh, you're live right now?
Yeah. I'm right here. Getting a lot of these face in here, so I wonder if I can.
We're right here. I sit right here.
Say better. Yeah. There you go.
Let's go. I'm right next to live.
Yep. Just so you don't do that.
Stay here. Stay here.
Alright. Alright.
Stay here.
Just tell me
You're
how
on
these
live right now.
Can I watch it?
Later you can. Yeah, it'll be uploaded.
Watch it on YouTube.
I know. I'm simple. Trying not to just get anyone's That's a little better. That's the live stream. This is just recording in case that's
Live on YouTube, yeah, so that's good. I know how to say it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you probably know about it.
She's live right now.
This is my career as a streamer right here. The beginning and the end of it.
44.
Someone needs them. Or are people not here? I guess we'll see maybe more
Evelyn just thought that your dad was my grandpa.
That's loud.
Thank you all for being here this evening. I'd like to just have everybody give a round of applause to our students that got to their seats tonight. Okay, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our Parkview class of 2023 and Ashwaubenon High School's class of 2027, 8th grade recognition program. We are very, very happy to see so many people here. Believe it or not, the air conditioning has been on all day and it still is on now. So apologize profusely for the temperature in here. We would like to please thank our 7th and 8th grade jazz band under the direction of Mrs. Kupta for providing fun and entertaining music as all of you entered the gymnasium tonight. And if you are an 8th grade jazz band member, please stand up. Thank you very much to all of you. I would like to welcome and say thank you to our guests to my right. First, I would like to say thank you to Jenny Viskachil and Brian Vandekreek, two of our school board, Ashwaubenon School Board members who are here representing their team. Mr. Kurt Weyers, our superintendent of the Ashwaubenon School District. Mr. Dirk Ribbons, students, your future Ashwaubenon High School principal. And Mr. Heim, our associate principal. Thank you all. As you can imagine, something of this size and this amazingness does not happen by itself. It does not. It takes a lot of hands. Villages need to come together, and also for all of the students that are here in front of us and as prepared as they are for their future at the high school. So please bear with me, but I want to say thank you to the numerous people that have helped get all of you where you are today, as well as prepare for this amazing event. Our individuals and businesses that have provided so many hours, days, meetings, time in organizing everything that's in front of you. So to start off, we'd like to say thank you to Ms. Hapala and Ms. Schweckler, our yearbook coordinators, Mrs. Layden and Mrs. Sawaski, who took care of creating our 8th grade video, and Mrs. Swaski, who is here with us this evening, recording and also making sure that there's a live stream of the event for the ceremony. I'm going to keep going, and then we can do a big applause at the end for sake of temperature in here. Thank you to Johanna Garrigan, Carrie Bilke, and Jillian Schlotzstein for taking the lead on the organization of the 8th grade dance, the decorations for the ceremony today, the banner out front, getting everything ready for the picnic today, organizing a sign-up genius, organizing volunteers, setting up, serving, and cleaning up from the picnic today. So thank you very much. Tina Hodek and Tammy McNichol helping to decorate for the ceremony yesterday, in addition to the 3 women I just named. Marco's Pizza and Dairy Queen of Ashwaubenon, because they offered us great discounts on our pizza for the meal today, as well as Dairy Queen for the dilly bars that the kids got. Thank you also to all of the 8th grade parents that came today to help serve and just chaperone and hang out with your kids. Whether they tell you or not, they appreciate, your 8th grade students appreciate you being there. Rob Ambrosius of Ambrosius Studios, Leah Thompson, Bob Klenke, Tyler Exford, Vern Doherty, Mr. Conrad, and Mr. Smits, because they took leadership and helped with the class of 2027 photo and the motto and signatures and framing, and that is displayed out in the commons for you to see and take a picture by. Katie Page, Lisa Cook, Leah Thompson, Jessica Dietzler, and Jennifer Palmer. 2 of those ladies are our office health aides, and 3 of them are the office staff. They put endless time and energy to get all of this paperwork ready for tonight, and these envelopes, and making sure everyone's certificates are printed, certificates of promotion, and stuffing the envelopes. So a lot of behind the scenes work. Tyler Exford, Vern Doherty, and Ken Lumberg are 3 of our amazing maintenance crew. Set up all of the chairs that we're sitting on tonight, as well as our stage and getting the commons ready, and they'll be cleaning up late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Mrs. Kupta for her special touch to our ceremony tonight with the jazz band. Parent Faculty Club board members, Hannah Garrigan, Kelly Banky, Bonnie Vangelis, and all parents of Parkview students who have donated your time, energy, and efforts to get your kids here today. 8th grade family teachers, those are each of our adults that are sitting out among the students tonight. Thank you for being here this evening for your students. for braving the stage to read their names aloud, making family time special throughout the year, helping get that mat signed by each of our students, getting the class motto narrowed down and finalized, and rehearsing with our student speakers. And thank you in advance for chaperoning on the field trip tomorrow to Mount Olympus. It's going to be fun. And planning fun activities for students who chose not to go on the field trip tomorrow but wanted to stay back at school. So thank you for all of your hard work there. Mrs. Bachman, Mrs. Breitenfeld, and Mrs. Dillenberg are our school counselors and our social worker, and daily and ongoing social, emotional, and academic support that they provide to all of our students throughout the year. I know that they are going to be missed by many of our students after leaving 8th grade. Officer Dunlap and Officer Everett, hopefully they directed you to a good parking space this evening. Mr. Heim, for the life lessons that he's worked so hard to teach all of our students this year, all 3 years. He's had these 8th graders for all 3 years of his role as associate principal so far. He helps keep us laughing and helping everyone to stay sane by ringing cowbells, repeatedly saying fire up Jags, and reminding everyone to always be a good human. And then like something about the gritty too. And then thank you once again to all of you for being here this evening, all of you for being here this evening. This evening's ceremony and these special events that all of you 8th graders have had the opportunity to take part in this year would not be possible without your parents, the Parkview staff, and our entire Ashwaubenon school community working together to make it all happen. So please give a round of applause for the efforts made by many. Okay, at this time I would like to welcome Mr. Brian Vandekreek to the stage, who would like to speak on behalf of the Ashwaubenon Board of Education.
Okay, is there anybody here that hasn't been thanked yet? Please stand up if you haven't been thanked. Sorry I had to say that. And I also had to say to the students, I was not surprised that you could find your seats. As Ms. Rusek was a little surprised that you could find your seats. So that's okay too. I just wanted to say too, to all of the parents and grandparents out in the crowd, thank you for doing the referendum or approving the referendum about 3 years ago that ensured that we have air conditioning in our schools. The last 3 weeks would have been extremely miserable in the various schools around Ashwaubenon without passing that referendum. I think Valley View was the last school to finish their air conditioning, and believe me, they were very, very happy to have air conditioning in there this last week. I wanted to quick comment that we have Jenny Viskachil is here. Some of you may know her. Jenny is the new school board president. She is going to do a fantastic job in working with Mr. Wires and all of the various administrators throughout the district. So your children's education is in very good hands here in Ashwaubenon. So for the 8th grade graduates, on behalf of the school board, I just want to say congratulations to all of you on moving forward to the high school this next year. It's going to be awesome. For me, leaving Parkview and going to the high school was a very, very big step, and yet high school was my favorite time of my education. I'm being told that this is the 50th anniversary of Parkview. Is that correct, everyone? Is there anybody here that was here on the first day when Parkview opened their doors? Okay, it's just me. I was here on that first day. My class was the first class to go all 3 years in Parkview for middle school. I think I see Mr. Layden out there. I think his dad was one of my teachers. That's how old I am. So all of you, think about it. This is what you could look like 50 years from now. And if that doesn't scare you into eating your vegetables and your fruits and getting good exercise, nothing else will. So please understand that that's what 50 years can do to a person. So that I graduated in the class of 1980, and you're going to be the class of what, 2027? Is that right? That's awesome. That is awesome. And it's great that this school has, well, fared better than me. So that's good. So I am very excited for all of you, and I want to leave you with 3 quick things. Number 1, as you get to the high school, work hard, try new things, and really try to branch out and really take advantage of all the great things that the high school experience has to offer you. Number 2, please be kind to everyone. Be kind to anyone you come in contact with. Make good friends that help you make good decisions in everything that you do. And thirdly, get involved, join clubs, participate in sports, go to the games, and attend all the various events. The more you do, the more you'll get out of it, the more fun you will have. And as you leave Parkview, remember to thank your teachers at all the grade levels that you have had here, and then thank your parents for putting up with all the things that you've dealt with during the course of your time here at Parkview. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vanderkreek. At this time, I would like to invite up our student speakers. We have a special message from each of the, yes, you may come up. Each of the following 3 students. We have Jamiana Witt is going to be starting us off, followed by Tan Tron, and wrapping it up will be Mila Scotto McKinney. Please give your attention to them, and we will be starting with Jamiana.
Okay, good evening. Not so long ago, we all walked through the doors of Parkview, wide-eyed ready, or not so ready for the challenges of 3-minute passing time and flip locks on our lockers. We were all anxious about the uncertainty of getting to know 8 to 10 teachers each semester and figuring out how to make things right in each one of their classes. It turns out it wasn't nearly as hard as many of us were thinking. This isn't to say the stress wasn't real, but our versions and our visions were smaller then. And now, here we stand on the cliff of moving on once again to the big house down the street, together as high school freshmen. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of dreaming big. As Les Brown, a well-renowned motivational speaker, once said, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars." Gandhi dreamt big about an independent India. At that time, people did not believe in his dream because it seemed unachievable. But he persisted, and his dream became a reality. I remember as a 7th grader, I had no inclination to join the Parkview track team, but a certain teacher pushed and persuaded me into it. Months later, I realized it was a fantastic fit. And my dreams went from figuring out what events to do to actually believing I could win, and to finally breaking the school record. This is how dreaming big works. We don't start out knowing exactly what to aspire for, but once we get our feet under us, we realize just how hard we fly. So my friends, as we begin the next step as a class of 2027, I urge you to dream big. Forget your perceived limitations and begin dreaming and actually believing in the wonderful things that you can, or better yet, will become and do. Remember, the starting point of great success and achievement has always been the same. It is for you to dream big dreams and believe wholeheartedly you will succeed. Class of 2027, keep dreaming big and great things will come to each and every one of us. Thank you. And here is Tantron.
Students and teachers, mentors and disciples of education, good evening. As we are flipping through the next page of many of our lives, we need to remember the challenges which we have encountered along the way. With the unfortunate pandemic and COVID-19, our class is the one that missed their elementary school graduation. We make up for it now by being here for our middle school one. Middle school may or may not have been the best years of your life so far, but they are definitely one of the most developing times of our lives. Lots of us grew, maybe not physically, but emotionally by experiencing struggles such as harder classes and more complicated friendships. One thing that's helped us grow so much is the power of believing in ourselves. The ability to tap into the unlimited potential which we have as players, students, musicians, and more makes us who we are. Every single one of us has unique abilities, strengths, and passions for something. Once you believe and understand how far you can really reach, you will be able to go above and beyond. Even if nobody believes in you, even if you're stuck there, looking at your dream, reviewing it every single day, even if you've lost again and again, you need to say to yourself, it's not over until I win. You will run into obstacles, hurdles, and difficulties no matter what stage of life you are in. It doesn't matter how slowly you're going, as long as you don't stop. As my track coach once said, feel the wind and become one with the wind. There will always be a pebble in your path, maybe even a boulder. By the time you grow old, you may have one of the greatest rock collections in all of history. Those rocks propelled you just to be great, just like how they helped you find yourself in these trying times. No matter what life throws at you, you're going to get through it by believing in yourself. Even if there are doubters, you shouldn't climb that mountain for the world to see you, but for you to see the world. Persevere and always believe. And as Stan Lee once said, everyone wants to be Spider-Man, but nobody wants to be Peter Parker. I would like to welcome our next speaker.
Our time together has come to an end. As we sit here today, we are all about to embark on a new journey to high school. We are leaving behind the familiar faces, classrooms, and even some fellow classmates we've known and grown fond of for the past 3 years. Change can be scary, but it is also what makes life interesting and exciting. Throughout our time in school, we have experienced many changes and had plenty of fun times. We had our jag jog, fun assemblies before Christmas break, and even our flannel Fridays. Even the little things like changing classes, teachers, and sometimes even making new friends. It's funny to think we were just little 6th graders 2 years ago. We've grown and evolved in ways never thought possible. We have learned new things, made new friends, and discovered new passions. But now, as we move on to the next chapter of our lives, we will face even more changes. As we face new challenges and opportunities, we must hold on to our values. We must never compromise who we are or what we believe in. We must stay true to ourselves and use our strengths to make a positive impact on the world. Finally, let us embrace change by moving to the next place with open arms. Let us be courageous and excited for the opportunities and experiences we have lying ahead. As June 8th quickly approaches, and as we take our final step out of Parkview Middle School, embrace every opportunity to learn, grow, and improve yourself. While we may not have control over every change that comes, we certainly have control over how we face it. You and you alone have the power to shape your future. Thank you.
How about another round of applause for those 3 brave souls? What they just accomplished is something that some people still struggle with as adults. So, way to go, all 3 of you. And thank you to, Mr. Smits for the costume rental time. Okay, students, so here comes some more fun parts. Last week, we asked you to complete a form that, oh wait, let's do the staff ones first. Last week I asked the staff to email me with memories that they have of your class and also advice that they have for you. And then they could add something else if they wanted to. So here are some of the responses. And yes, I'm going to share with you who said what. Okay? So the question was, what memories do you have about this class when you taught them, worked with them, supervised them throughout their 3 years at Parkview? Mr. Scott Conrad said, they truly appreciated the greatest music of all time, heavy metal love ballads. The dudes tried to hide their faces with lots of hair, and the girls tried to show off their bellies, and I'm not really sure why. For some reason, this group really enjoyed spending a lot of time in the bathroom. Mr. Smith said this group is really something special. As a class, the whole is greater than the sum of their parts really sticks out. As a community of students, they really make each other better. Mr. Hansen said masks, so many masks in 6th grade and 7th grade and small classes and green and gold days and A and B days. Doesn't that seem like forever ago? Mrs. Breitenfeld said, I will always remember the class of 2027 fondly, as they were my first group of 6th graders at Parkview. It was a challenging year as they started middle school during a pandemic. Mrs. Kupta said the class started their music career learning all about music theory and banging on pickle buckets. It's amazing how many stuck it out and took on the task of learning their instrument to such a great level just 2 years later. Mr. Imming said, intentionally losing the free throw contest every year to make the kids feel good about themselves. On a serious note, I'll never forget how the kids and staff made me feel when I told them I was moving to Scotland. Everyone made me feel really important and loved. Mrs. Lissay said, ending 6th grade with these students at the start of a pandemic, having to talk to them while staring at a black screen because their cameras were off. Getting some of them as students in 1st and 2nd grade, and then again as 6th graders, 7th graders, or 8th graders has filled my bucket as a teacher. Seeing their personal and academic growth is really rewarding. Ms. Happela said, having to tell a group of students who were really into Harry Potter there were no killing curses allowed in class. Mrs. Rod said the constant playing of shadow boxing and worrying about putting creases in their Jordans so they waddled like ducks. Parents, any of you see that at home? Mrs. Burnett said, I will truly miss this class at Parkview. I love their energy, even if it's too much at times, as well as how much they love to laugh together. I feel blessed that I've been able to watch a lot of them grow. I've been able to watch a lot of them grow up from early on, and I look forward to watching them all doing great things at high school and beyond. Ms. Hannah said this class weathered choir through COVID and had to navigate choir without singing. We managed to get through it, but it has been so nice to be able to make music together again. I have really enjoyed working with and getting to know all of the choir and guitar students in the class of 2027, and it was wonderful to get to experience the team choral concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra this past March. Now here's their advice for all of you. Mr. Lorenz said, you will always be remembered by your classmates, teachers, friends, and your community. Will that memory bring a smile to people's faces? You will be remembered forever. How you treat others will determine how you are remembered. Mrs. Thompson in the office said, be true to yourself and always be kind. I think we've heard that a few times today already. Mr. Conrad said, give your parents a break and tell them you love them every once in a while, because it's a tough gig being a mom or a dad. He also said, those who plan to fail, or those who fail to plan to fail. Stay organized. Mr. Smith said, make the most of your high school. Join sports, music, art, and explore what things the high school has to offer. You make the school spirit. You make your high school years awesome. Ms. Hallam said, travel as much as you can, as far as you can, as long as you can. Life was not meant to be lived in one place. Mr. Hansen said, from the digital citizenship teacher who, okay, let me try that again. From the digital citizenship teacher who covers social media topics in class, Don't spend so much time in the digital world. Spend it with the real people doing real things, because that's what you'll remember 25 years from now. Ms. Breitenfeld said it's not advice, but I wish you all the health and happiness, and I will always cheer for you and your successes. And please see Ms. B if you ever need encouragement. Mrs. Gupta said the grit you have shown in these 3 years is just a small example of what you can accomplish, so keep dreaming big. Mr. Imig said, don't focus your energy on things you cannot control. Such good advice for adults too, right? Don't focus your energy on things you cannot control. Mrs. Lassay said, do what is right even when there's no one to see it or give you the credit for it. She also said, friends do not say mean things to one another. If someone is making you feel badly, they aren't a true friend. And a third piece of advice from Mrs. Lassay is, it's easy to be critical of others, but you can do hard things, so work to offer others grace and understanding. Ms. Hapola asked that you remember to do things that make you happy. And Ms. Hannah said, get involved, learn new things, set goals, and work hard, and don't forget to thank your parents and guardians. And lastly, is there anything else you'd like to share that the students or parents would enjoy? Mr. Hansen said, summer's almost here. The last day of school is June 8th. And Mrs. Gupta said the elementary school tour with the 8th grade band and show choir was fantastic. Students exhibited excellent behavior and even better performance. Hearing those younger students shout, hey, during the hey song and cheering them on like rock stars is a definite memory to hold on to. And parents of band and show choir members, I heard very good feedback from every single administrator and multiple teachers in all of the buildings of how amazing our students did that day. And then lastly, always putting in a plug for himself, Mr. Conrad said if you need to buy or sell a house, please contact Mr. Herzog or Mr. Conrad at the 24-hour real estate hotline. For real, if you don't know it, he really is a realtor, it's not a joke. Okay, students, and now here's what you shared. Last week I asked you, we sent you a Google form and asked you to answer 4 questions. So these I'm going to go through really fast because I tried to share as many as possible, and a lot of them are repeats. So hopefully you hear at least one of your answers in here. What are 2 things you will never forget from your years at Parkview? The people, COVID, virtual learning, tower challenge, recess, sports, the first days of school, quarantine, science, 6th grade Olympics, choir class, the people I met, the awkward years of middle school, the staff, overcoming challenges while I was here, how amazing the teachers were, the JAG jog, the 8th grade dance, the food here, being in the Peer Mentor Club, band trips, Destination Imagination, Lois and the good food here, that was repeated, playing Fortnite. At school? Making new friends, Mr. Smith's relationship advice, end of year celebrations, masks, ingenuity, not turning my camera on for virtual learning ever, the bus, Optimist speech contest, Mr. Hendricks bug-infested classroom. I think I need to know more about that, adolescents. How much I changed over the course of 3 years. Soy sauce and rice. The friends I've made. Fun field trips, Tundra Lodge, band and choir, lunch bunch, woo! Staff versus students volleyball game, 7th grade health, the Mount Olympus trip, which hasn't even happened yet. I will never forget how kind the staff is. And the most common answer focused on friends. Meeting new friends, spending time with friends, making memories with friends, meeting people who I have more in common with, and finding out who my real friends are. What's something you learned in middle school that will help you in your future? To always try no matter what. Don't get involved in drama. How to build a bridge. How to write a proper essay. Not everyone likes you, and that's okay. How to cook. How to count atoms. Keep the people who care and treat you well close and leave the ones who don't. Holding on to them will only drag you down. Sewing a button. How to program. How to be a good human. How to kill a bug in Mr. Hendricks' room. Take things with a grain of salt. Matter cannot be created or destroyed, only change form. ELA, how to overcome my social anxiety. Elements, taxes and interest. Enjoy your childhood and just get your work done. The job interview in ACP. I think that might have been personal in the classroom. Those who fail to plan to fail. That was from a student this time, Mr. Conrad. Respect and responsibility, paying attention in class, to not mess around, keep hands and feet to myself. Hallelujah, one of you learned it. New ideas for my future career. Time management is important, you can't give up. Talk to people who aren't your friends. Be yourself, how not to procrastinate, how to talk in front of people, how to solve math problems, life skills, how to cook and sew, ACP. Not everyone will like you. You might have to work with people you might not like, but you still have to get the project done. Making mistakes makes you better. Don't worry about what people think of you. Be yourself. Pythagorean theorem. The power of friendship and never give up. And what are you most looking forward to in high school? Freedom, in all caps. Only 4 classes, new opportunities, high school dances, driving, sports, swimming, high school marching band, the Spanish trip, more freedom, musicals and theater productions, having a pool and a courtyard, making money, having my phone, carrying my backpack, good grades, new classes, clubs and extracurriculars, a new beginning, graduating, increased passing time, freedom, being successful, meeting new people, making new friends, less drama, new tech ed classes, homecoming, football, JROTC, bringing my own PC, a fresh start in high school, meeting new people, acting, singing, and musicals, living life, nothing but success for the next 4 years, being better than I was in middle school, the new possibilities and paths that we ourselves will start shaping, new food, figuring out what I want to do for a career, and lastly, can you guess it? Freedom! And who is someone you would like to say thank you to for helping you get through your time here? A lot of you students said all of the teachers and staff here have helped you. Somebody wants to thank themselves for being strong and not giving up. My dog, my friends, thank you to the principals, my dad and all the teachers I had, my mom for bugging me to finish my homework, parents just overall helping me out, many thank yous to individual staff members, and students, the staff members are going to see your thank yous. So we would be here all night if I read them all, but I will be sharing the document with them. My personal favorite answers, okay, remember, let's go back. The question was, who is someone you'd like to say thank you to for helping you get through your time in middle school? The creator of YouTube. Google and Wikipedia. Great, great. And here's a quote. All of my teachers who have helped me throughout my years to be the best person I could be, and to Mr. Heim, who's been the best assistant principal assistant principal thing. So thank you, students, because this is your ceremony, and I wanted to include your answers this evening. So thank you so much for sharing your feedback, and I know that the staff is going to enjoy reading the rest of the answers. One more request or assignment from Mr. Heim and I that we have tonight, students, is we want you to make sure that you take the time to thank your parents. I'm going to say it again, even though it's been said many times. And, maybe you could give them a hug tonight. Say you love them before you go to bed. Pose for pictures with your parents before you go take 72 pictures with your friends. Just one they would like. We really would like to say thank you, and at this time, students, I would like you to stand up and give your parents a round of applause, your caregivers, your grandparents, your entire family. Oh, and there's so many waving at you like you're back in kindergarten when you go on stage. They're so proud of you. And before you know it, it's going to be 4 years from now, and they're going to be hooting and hollering because you're graduating from high school. So thank you, parents. Thank you for getting them all dressed up today, making them get a haircut, wear nice shoes, wear a belt when they cross the stage. Whatever you had to do to get them here tonight, we very much appreciate you. 8th graders, 3 years ago, Mr. Heim and I met with you at the start of your 6th grade year for our rules and expectations meeting. And during that meeting and each year since, we have encouraged you to make a positive name for yourself, both as individuals and as a class. And you certainly have done that. We've challenged you to think about what you want to be known as by your peers, by older and younger students, and both community members, as well as people that you don't even know. Therefore, with all of this being said, and knowing that these students are certainly prepared, they're excited, they're ready to venture out to Ashwaubenon High School, Mr. Ribbons, I proudly present to you the class that is certainly going to leave their mark on Ashwaubenon High School in the next 4 years, the class, your class of 2027.
Well, thank you, Ms. Itzek. Grab some paper out of here. And I may need to redo my speech slightly. I've never had to speak after Spider-Man before, and I've never had so many eager expectations about freedom in high school before. We may have to talk about this a little bit at some point. However, I'd like to welcome you, class of 2027. You look great. You dressed up nicely. Way to go. Nice job with that. I'm going to start off with a few welcoming comments to students and the incoming freshmen, and then I'm going to go and say a few things to the parents and guardians who are here. First, to students. Welcome to the high school. You're all Jaguars. A couple things I want you to know. A couple things I want you to know about me, about your high school staff members, and about the high school. 3 things that are really important. Number 1, what we're going to be about, the learning you're going to be doing, the developing you're going to be doing is really important. Okay? It's important. Number 2, you can do it. It's going to be hard. We're there to help you, but there is nothing that we're going to ask you to do in high school that you can't do with the help of the people around you. Number 3, this is really important as you think about taking care of yourselves. We will not give up on you, even if you give up on yourself, okay? So just don't give up on yourself, because we're not going to let you, because we're going to keep hounding you for it until you get done successfully. Trust me on it. Now, a number of you and a number of other speakers talked about there's a lot to get involved in high school, and that's true. Sports, clubs, organizations, dances, work. I'm not sure where the word freedom came from, but you listed a lot of things to get involved in high school. And those are really important. In fact, curious statistic for you. I've been on the administrative team since 2007, and every year since then, I've kept track of the statistics on this one. Every year, students, our top 10 graduates from the senior class are involved in at least 3 co-curriculars per year. Okay? Now, does it mean that being involved makes you a better student, or good students are involved? I really don't care, but get involved. Those are the people you want to be involved in. However, when you go to high school, your job is to learn. Okay? It's to learn, and it's to learn at high levels. You don't actually have to be involved in co-curriculars to learn. You don't have to have friends to learn. Your job is to learn. Now, I don't want to make it sound gloom and doom. You will enjoy it much more if you're involved. You'll enjoy it much more if you have healthy relationships. But remember, your job number 1 in high school is to learn, to develop the skills and abilities and knowledge to be successful in life. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. And we've given this challenge to Parkview graduates every year now for at least 25 years, for a long, long time. And that is this. How are you going to leave your mark at Ashwaubenon High School? How are you going to leave your mark individually? And you, and you, and you, each one of you, how are you going to leave your mark individually? And as a class, as Ms. Hunsik said, how are you going to leave your mark as a class? How are you going to leave your mark academically? How are you going to leave your mark athletically? How are you going to leave your mark socially and musically and in terms of career planning? And in terms of being decent to each other, and in terms of community involvement. So, when you cross the stage at graduation, in 4 years, I'm going to be talking about that again. In fact, just this Sunday when we do graduation, I'm going to be talking about how did this class leave its mark. It's something we talk about every year. So that's my challenge for you. Now to the parents. The kids look great, you look even better. Each year, you look a little younger and a little younger, and maybe that's just because I'm getting older, but this year you look like you may be the youngest group yet, so that's amazing. I'd like to welcome you to Ashwaubenon High School as well, parents. This is your school as well as your children's school. They belong here, so do you. Obviously, your role changes as they get older and more mature, and you let go a bit more, and they have to grab on a bit more, and things like that. And we'll help you work through that difficult process as parents. It's not easy being a parent to teenagers, trust me. But welcome to the high school. A couple things that I'd like you to know. First of all, as I said back when we did class registration, thank you for entrusting your children to us. We know in this day and age, you could have chosen any number of schools for your child, and you chose Ashwaubenon High School. We take that very seriously. So thank you for that. Another thing you've been told before, but trust me, you're going to blink, and they're going to be crossing the stage at graduation. I promise you, however long kindergarten took for this child, high school will take less time. High school flies. Last thing I want parents to know is, in the high school, you are always welcome to give your child a big hug and a kiss and use whatever embarrassing nicknames you used to them when they were little kids. And you are especially encouraged to do this if you are in the high school to drop off something that that kid left at home and forgot to bring to school. Okay? So parents and students, will see you all this summer. There will be events, there will be orientation, there will be link crew things, there will be some transitional activities, and I'd like to welcome you. So with that, Ms. Hudzik, I am pleased to welcome and accept the incoming freshman class, the class of 2027. Welcome to AHS students.
Okay, students, it's the moment you've been waiting for or you've been nervous about. Crossing the stage. Okay, at this time, we are going to award the certificates of promotion to our 8th grade class. 248 8th graders. Parents, guests, caregivers, grandparents, when you see your child approaching over here, you are welcome to come up to get good pictures if you'd like to. They are going to enter the stage here, cross over, shake hands there, and go right back to their spot, okay? It is also being recorded and will be played on social media after it's all ready to go. So you will have access to that as well. Okay, at this time, we would ask that Mr. Siemens' class, the front row, stand, and we are going to have each family teacher come up to read their students' names, and we will be presenting the certificates up here. If we could please wait until each teacher is done reading the names. When that teacher is done, then we'll applause for that family, and then we can keep moving through. Thank you so much, Mr. Siemens.
Evan Anderson. Jonathan Brunette. And please hold your applause until all the students have walked. Thank you. Dominic Cook. Kyler Dragosh Hayes. Mason Getz. Kenzie Grave. Eric Johnson. Tate Crowell. Joseph Christ. Deshaun Nevels. Seneca Noyen. Xavier Petrosic. Lana Preston. Jacob Shobe. And Olivia Wallace. And now you can applaud. Next we have Mr. Conrad.
Copper Allen. Mila Escoto McKinney. Peyton Haynes. Connor Hendrickson. Aubrey House. Teresa House. Sean Johnson. Nathan Julich. Leon Molina. Thomas McNichol. Kylie Murphy. Killian Smith. Sue Tom. Round of applause, please. Next up, Mr. Dixie's family.
Wyatt Anderson. Isaiah Ash. Hayden Dahl. Lily Hain. Addison Heisler. Elliot Huget. Aaliyah Jackson. Elmira Komanikin. Johnny Luby. Kenley Mundigler. Katie Murrah. Braden Schmidt. Camilla Stange. Landon Tice. And Braylon Wilkins Lipsky. Round of applause. Next up, we have Miss Genovese's family.
Parker Bohm. Brendan Christman. Michaela Fresh. Sanaya Guy. Kiara Holm. Melanie Kostelecki. TJ Platt. Tatum Tracy. Easton Trossick. Jackson Walls. Devin Williams. Jamiana Witt. Stella Wyszynski. Let's have a round of applause, please. And now Mr. Candy's family. Elias Allen.
One of us should put good spelling.
Owen Evenson.
It's Melanie. She got the wrong one.
Annalise Clancy. Kira Dial.
Yeah,
Miley Harmon.
yeah, go ahead and grab it.
Bryce Hennessy. Chloe Hyde. Chloe Putsett. Elena Krieger. Bryce Menon. Emerson Farr.
Jocelyn Miller. Caitlin Cedar. Alexandra Stocker. Ashton Zeal. Mr. Hendricks family.
Riley Anderson. Reagan Brady. Jazzy Bumford. Ben Butkus. Addison Cody. Reed Hansen. Kira Hill. Kang Wen Hung. Lauren McKinnon. Olivia Schneider. Lauren Sealing. Tia Tao. Gunnar Van Lenen. Charlie Van Keem. Serenity Zamora. All right, round of applause. Next we have Mr. and Mrs. family.
Giselle Arellano. Chase Byer. Gemma Brooks. Jayla Brunafer. Lily Burke. Demara Dowd. Aubrey Corte. Chloe Kubiak. Caleb Marson. Taryn Marks. Lily Simon. Ava Smith. Bennett Snyder. Noah St. Aubin. Audrey Swanson. McKenna Tilley. And Ashley Woodward. You can get loud. Mr. Say is up next.
Kennedy Comer. Willow Durbinghouse. Carter Dukavich. Madeline Bilberto. Ruben Flores. Landon Gantz. Kaden Gazella. Prudence Hurt. Ian Marler. Alaya Matichewski. Ella Norman. Javion Pope. Ava Singer. Jaden Sheedy. And last but not least, Alice Faye. And now Mr. Lady's family.
Remediate Adams. Peter Ivan Castro. Alex Bozalova. Jack Boone. Carter Burnett. Brayden Sy. Saha. Addison Garski. Mesa Hunt. Ariana Leggett. Hafed Martinez. Ruby Milheiser. Grace Mills. Ava Menzloff. Evelyn Nizbachel. Landon Wall. Shlok Patel. Delaney Rossfly. And last but not least, Marcus Streeter. Up next, we have Mr. Miles' family.
Charlie Balaji. Lexi Burnett. Jack Erford. Sam Gerardin. Pierce Noyen. Braden Rabbit. Jackson Rhodes. Michael Rowell. Caitlin Sandberg. Leslie Wagner. Mariah Weiss. And up next, Miss Rock's family.
Vanessa Anderson. Connor Bodo. Gavin DeGroot. Marilla Garrigan. Ryan Berneski. Brody Harrison. Hunter Hartman. Caden Kinsgrove. Levi Laird. Calvin O'Connell. Carissa Rumsey. Abel Schubrin. Sylvia Smith. Angelo Song.
Yes, sir.
We didn't work on that at all. Preston Thompson. And Blake Flyer. Now Miss Shepherd. Brielle Belkey. Ella Bruskowitz. Cadence Krishna. Noah Cullinan. Sydney Hubbard. Megan Fury. Emma Kozlowski. Ella Mabry. Adea Metcalf. Charlotte O'Donnell. Preston Peterson. Aislinn King. Eli Schatzman. And now we have Mr. Smith's family.
Matthew Collins. Samantha Dallard. Dayton Denny. Ellie Doberstar. Sullivan Castor. Maddox Kruger. Charlotte McNichol. Valentine McSorley Castor. Brooke Platt. Briella Steinfeld. Raylan Fuller. Tom. And Nolan Burke. Give them a big round of applause. And next, this side.
Angela Beneke. Maddox Brown. Aiden Burke. Reagan Carlson. Nevaeh DeGrand. Kylie Doan. Amari Harris. Amelia Hogue. Landon Jawaka. Ethan Jensen. Michael Krischer. Max Miller. Megan Parsons. Natalie Schlafstein. Lindsay Feedy. Lincoln Van Ness. And let's hear that applause.
Lincoln Bayman. Amelia Belavosky. Ryan Camp. Jaylani Cologne. Wesley DeNoble Winkle. Amaya D. Pearl. Nicholas Kodak. Layla Machapedo. Lillian Migas. Alani Reyes. Felix Salim. Chandler Steele. Darian Thornton. Kelly Verbeyen. And Jisha Boo. Round of applause.
Let's give our class of 2023 a huge round of applause. Good students, smile. Yeah, show your certificates with pride. Here we go. Way to go. That was fantastic. And nobody tripped. Thank you. That was perfect. Okay, we have one remaining graduate of Parkview Middle School in our Ashwaubenon School District family. We want to take a moment to recognize and say thank you to her for her many years of service to Mrs. Jean Sturzel. She is retiring in 1.5 days. She's not with us here this evening, but many of your children had her for a teacher, so a little round of applause there for Mrs. Sturzel. And then we also want to say best wishes, happy future ahead in Scotland, blah, 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 going for love. Mr. Emick is following his heart, and he is really inspired. Students, I'd like you all to know that he has set a goal. We know that Mr. Emick is all about goal setting, right? He has set a goal to be back in Ashwaubenon in our school district in 2 years. So I expect all of you to be hounding him about that once he departs. But best wishes to you, Mr. Emick. We can't wait to hear when you get engaged. When is that happening? Okay, awards and recognitions part 2, we're almost done. So students, hopefully you opened up your envelopes. Because inside of your envelopes, you may have found, in addition to your certificate of promotion, you may have found an award, maybe a couple of awards. Okay? So first you need to check it out, and then you need to pay attention. Please hold your applause until I get through each section, okay? Our first award is called the Pride of Parkview. This award is for students exhibiting the following qualities to a high degree: participating in school activities on a regular basis, completing assignments in all areas, overall positive, ongoing attitude and work ethic in school. We have 55 students who have received this award, and if you have this award in your envelope, please stand right now so we can applaud you. Congratulations. Okay, our next awards. This one you have to pay attention to, students, because if you have one of these, it has a GPA on it. Okay. Mr. Ribbons, I'm thrilled to let you know that 183 out of 248 students in this class, 75% of the class almost, have earned an academic award. So you are getting a studious group here. So we have 62 students who earned a certificate for maintaining a 3.0 grade point average. If you have a 3.0 grade point average certificate, please stand at this time. 62 of you. There are 90 students who maintained a 3.5 grade point average, 3.5 to 3.9. Please stand if you are one of the 90 students who have this award. And we have 31 students who maintained 4.0 during their entire 8th grade year. If you are one of these 31 students with straight A's, please stand. Students in this 8th grade class, or class of 2027, have maintained maintained a grade point average of 4.0 all 3 years. All 3 years. That means no A minuses. 4.0 all 3 years. Wow is right. 16 students, please stand. And I want to share those names: Alexis Burnett, Ellie Doverspike, Hunter Hartman, Addison Heitzler, Sean Johnson, Emma Kozlowski, Aaliyah Manajewski, Thomas McNichol, Ava Minsloff, Kenley Mundingler, Evelyn Nespachel, Natalie Schlapstein, Braden Schmidt, Audrey Swanson, Mariah Weiss, and Braylon Wilkins-Lipsky. Way to go, 16 years. Parents, caregivers, you're raising some smart kiddos out here, so good job to all of you. Now, Mr. Ribbons had mentioned about being involved in activities. You don't have to be involved in activities to be successful academically in classes. But I would like you to watch this, because now I'm going to name off all of the possible activities that these 8th graders could be involved in their 3 years in middle school. Students, when you hear an activity that you have been involved in, I want you to stand up. Some of you are going to get some good squatting in at this point, okay? So we'll applaud for everybody at the end. So here we go. Destination Imagination. This is going to go fast, so up. Destination Imagination. Student Council. Our school musical, Moana Junior, as well as Adam's Family. There we go. And Schoolhouse Rock, sorry. Math Club, Math Counts. You're going to stand up, then you're going to sit down. Volunteer Club, which was 6th or 7th grade. You could have been in that. Hope Squad. Peer Mentor Club. Battle of the Books. literature club, gaming club, volleyball, forensics, anime club. This is kind of funny from up here. Tennis, chess club, track, Jaguar dance team, Nordic ski team, Optimist speech contest, Delta Kappa Gamma writing and illustrating competition, jazz band, show choir, triple trio, solo and ensemble, basketball, art club, soccer, cross country, wrestling, climbing wall, football, an activity or group or team that is not associated with our school, but you participate in something outside of school. Stand if you currently have a job where you get paid real money. Parents, give it up for employing those kids. And lastly, if you were the art contest winner for the Packers competition and won a $5,000 scholarship for our art department, stand up. Way to go, Audrey Swenson! So, parents and guests, as you can tell, being involved does matter because many of those kids that were up and down were also up for other awards. Students, being involved leads to greater chances of success, so continue to be involved in high school. And if you are like, dang, I wish I would have gotten involved in some of these things, you have 4 years ahead to do that. You're making a difference. Okay, lastly, if there's anyone who wants to order the class of 2027 photo, Ambrosius is going to be filling these orders online, so please be sure to check in with Ambrosius. Anybody that already did order them and paid for them, they are outside on the table right in the entry way where you came in, and they're labeled with names on them. Parents, students, and family members, we'd like you to enjoy the photo shoot opportunities. We have one out in the commons with a jaguar paw background. There's a paw in the entranceway. Landscaped areas in front with the metal sculptures. By the pillars, mission statement, jaguar photo backdrop, anywhere, Jim Commons, jaguar there, wherever you'd like to. Students, remember your parents want pictures of you tonight. You can purchase a water from our Destination Imagination team for $1 as you head out this evening. 8th grade students, now is the time. Now is the time that you go give your parents, caregivers, grandma and grandpa, and your siblings a huge hug to say thank you for everything. Thank you all for being here this evening.